following intensive care episode is brought to you by the Scarred Elite, our amazing supporters from Sirenicide's Patreon. Patrons like
Danielle C.,
Kyle S.,
Tori H.,
and Maya Z. Join the ranks today. Find out more at sirenicide.com/donations.
This one's gonna require a little intensive care.
All right, get my scalpel. Let's see what's inside.
Welcome to another Sirenicide intensive care episode.
What's up, Scarred Ones? It's Johnny, and I am in here with one of my favorite people in the world today, the great Christina Ashworth. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So before we get started, this is Sirenicide ICE episode 18, The Dark Elite Takeover with Christina Ashworth. So Christina, where can everyone find your happenings on the interwebs?
I guess the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That's pretty much it. But Instagram. It's like Twitter is, what is it, at Vima Boeing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I couldn't think of a clever name, so I was like, let's just use my character. And then Instagram is just Ashworth CCI. And then Facebook is just my name.
And we'll drop all those links down there below for you guys. That way you can click on them and follow her on all the social medias. She's an amazing baker.
Shorty Cakes, yes. So you can find me, Shorty Cakes. I have my own Facebook page. And I'm on Twitter and Instagram as well.
And those cakes alone are, if you're far away, they're still worth just sharing the photos because some of them are really, really amazing. Like you made my son's Boba Fett helmet and his snake.
That was my favorite cake ever.
It's so good. So if you're wondering, well, what do they look like? Because this is a podcast. Well, go to Shorty Cakes on Facebook, click on the photos and dig through them and find them and make a comment on them. Let us know you heard.
Buy one.
There you go. We'll ship it in a refrigerated Yeti cooler.
We'll try.
It'll only cost you like $3,000 if you're in Japan. All right. So here's just to remind everybody, this is an ICE interview. And the cool thing about it, at the end of these, we're going to be giving away a prize, a mystery prize this week. Ooh. So you're going to have to stick around to the very end to find out what you're going to win. That's true. You are eligible. Not only is she an amazing member of the cast, she's actually still a strong 26 months Patreon supporter of the show. So,
yay, me.
All right. Nice episode format. Just to give you guys a quick reminder, there are going to be mild spoilers throughout this episode. Towards probably the end, we'll get into a lot heavier spoilers once we get into the Sirenicide side of things. Sirenicide side of things. That's not a tongue twister. But so if you're not caught up on episode 1 through mini episode 38, and I'm sure if this is like your 90th time hearing an ICE episode, you're sick of hearing this, but it might be your first out there, somebody. So I always want to warn you, there are spoilers in this episode. So stop, go binge the series, come back. You'll get more out of this by doing that anyway. And as you can tell, we try our best to leave the ands, the ums, the mks, the you knows, and all that kind of stuff. That way you can hear how organic this conversation really is, because right now we're just two people sitting in the hot box. She's actually sitting on the new hot seat. We have a bright red stool I just put into the
I didn't realize.
Into the booth.
I just sat on it.
Well, I'm on a black stool, you're on a red stool, because, we like black and red just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. All right. So without further ado, we're going to go into the news. So take it away, Stormy.
47 Action News is closed caption for the hearing impaired. You're watching Channel 47 KZTM TV Morriston, #1 in Texas.
Okay, and we are back. Thanks a lot, Storm, for that. We have some awesome news this week. For next week, actually. So next week, we're going to be starting the $10 level for Patreon support. And we have our brand new Sirenicide logo designed by the great Desdemona. And that is going to be on an exclusive blood red mugs. I'm so excited. You've seen them.
I want one so bad.
So at the $10 level, that is going to be an initial perk. If you live international, it takes, I think we decided we're going to do 2 months to be able to, because of the shipping, to get it around the world to get that level. But if you live in Canada, Mexico, or North America, we should be able to ship that to you same month that you join. And then upon your second month, if you're international, we'll get that coffee mug out to you. It just takes a little bit to pack it to make sure that it doesn't break. But brand new mugs, we're so excited. We'll be releasing photos of them too, so you'll be able to see that.
Exciting.
And then next on our news agenda, less than 2 months away right now, if you're listening to this, is the launch of season 4. Are you nervous, lead producer?
Excited. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
So the launch,
I'm nervous.
the launch of season 4 is going to drop on September 17th. So make sure you put that on your calendars. And it's going to be our first week-to-week release. And then last in the news, this July 30th, which is a Tuesday, the long-awaited, heavily promised trailer for Sirenicide Season 4 is going to be dropping to build that extra bit of anticipation throughout the month of August and early September leading into the launch. So we're going to take a short little break. You're going to hear from an excerpt of one of Christina's other roles that is not Vima, and then we'll be right back with the exclusive questions.
Oh, God! Oh, God! Please don't!
All right, and we're back. So a short bio of Christina Ashworth's role in Sirenicide. Just a few highlights here. So mainly, I'm not going to do the joke, I promise. I keep doing this awful joke on every episode of like, you're most known for the circus manager in season 2. You know, so she is definitely most known for Vima Boeing. Some love her. Most love her. We love her. And a few assholes out there hate her.
Yeah.
But we don't like you. And you're probably not listening anymore anyway.
That's all right.
And if you are, you're just grinding your teeth right now going,
Why is she
one
talking
star
right
this
now?
shit.
Tell her to stop talking.
I want to yell at her right now. How come you didn't pick this person to be your bad female? I don't like it. Anyway.
well.
Yeah. Vima Boeing, oh man, I cannot wait. Again, we're going to hop into a whole lot more deep dive on her at after the exclusive questions. But she also played her twin sister, Rima.
Oh my God.
Yeah, how did that happen? Not low on voice actors. Identical twins that sound just alike.
Yeah, she didn't last very long though.
No.
Poor thing.
And then your first appearance in the show was season 1, episode 2. You were getting your heart ripped out by Gus.
That was I can't even listen to that episode. It was so rough. Just listening to me scream. Oh God, the scream sounds so fake. Like I was like, why do I sound like this?
It's your first time.
Yeah.
We had no idea what we were doing in season 1. If you don't believe us, just go back and listen.
Yeah. Good luck.
You know, a lot of people really, really like that episode, though. I get a lot of compliments on that. That one was written by Eddie Vile. He did a really good job of putting that together, and I produced it, wrote it. That was all in a nutshell his baby, and he really went to town on it. I even like the like Pink Floyd sounding like outro with the drums and all that stuff. It's a really, really good episode.
Yeah.
And then of course Gus, a.k.a. James Gunner, knocked it out of the park as the guy killing.
He did good.
You said I'd never have your heart.
All those sound effects, like him eating. But he did really good. I guess I just don't like the sound of my own voice.
And then the Liquid. You have played the Liquid in both of the episodes.
I like playing that.
Poor Gibson Jordan.
Yeah, that was fun. I liked being in the Liquid.
And then, again, your most known role in the show is the unaccredited, muffled circus manager in season 3. You can count on me, boss. I love it.
That was fun.
That was. It's hard for us to be able to, especially someone like her and myself that play these rooted characters like Johnny and Vima to like, how come we don't get to just play around with other people anymore?
It's so much fun. Just random characters.
Right.
I love doing those. Those are my favorite.
So what have you been doing this summer? What have you been up to lately besides producing the hell out of our show?
Yeah. It takes a lot of my time. I've been working. I actually switched jobs, so I'm closer to home. And actually going to make a big career jump. So since I'm a baker, I decided to go back to school and like completely change everything to get my RN degree. Because I already have an associate's in science. So I was like, well, why
There you
not
go.
become an RN,
That way you can be a nurse that brings people cookies.
Yeah, right? Make them diabetics and then take care of them.
There you go. True member of Sirenicide right there.
Bring that Vima spirit out.
Hey, now, like, so you got a tattoo on your wrist, and that's your baker's tattoo.
Yeah, so I'll
you
get
should
like
put
a
like
syringe.
a syringe on the other one. That would be so awesome. You should so do that. That's fucking cool.
I'll put it on my back. We'll hide that one.
All right. So here we go, guys. You ready? This is the exclusive, uncut, unedited, for the most part, questions here. And we're going to go into starting off with the most important question ever. And I know you're ready for this one. And I know you probably got hundreds of them you're going to pick from. So what are you doing to me right now? What is your podcast top 8?
I don't believe there's a top 8. I gotta look. So I know number 1 is the Bright Sessions.
Sirenicide. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
No, Amy already said something about the Bright Sessions, and she's the one that actually got me into it. And I absolutely just got hooked. I kept listening to every single episode, and it was just one of those things that just I absolutely loved. Let's see. Calling Darkness. I've been listening to that lately. I can't really tell you much about it because I haven't listened to it in a while.
I just finished the season finale of it. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our friend, of course, and lore master of the show, Desdemona, is part of Calling Darkness. I'll throw a link in the comments below for you guys to check out Calling Darkness if you haven't yet. That's a good one. What else you got?
Yeah. It's really interesting. So go listen to Calling Darkness.
It's funny and it's scary.
Let's see here. I started listening to A Girl in Space. Don't ask me what it's about because I forgot. Like I listened to it, I was falling asleep, and it was interesting. But I really want to listen to it more. Anything about space, I love.
People don't realize that if you don't have especially now, because your commute's nothing
Yeah,
at the point.
it's nothing. So I can't really listen to anything.
Yeah, you got 2 kids, full-time job, and then you constantly have headphones in your ear editing audio for our show. So it's I don't really have time to listen to another show.
No. I actually started listening to Little Women, like the book, audiobook, because I love
cool.
listening to Little Women. Let's see. Oh, The Moot Point. So it's about Friends. So they just go about every single episode of Friends, and I absolutely love the show Friends. So
How many, is it just like a duo doing it, or?
I think, yeah, they have like 90 episodes, and it's just a couple of people just talking about each episode and what happens. And
That's really what got me into podcasting too. I mean, I won't tell the story for the 90th time for everybody to hear, but Cliff Notes, I started out with just a comedy podcast, but that was like in 2007. But what got me back into it was watching The Walking Dead and wanting to listen to somebody talk about a show I'm watching because nobody other than my wife was watching it. So I'm like, this sucks. I can't talk to them. It was like before. I mean, I know it didn't take long for Walking Dead to become like a cultural juggernaut, but this was before that happened. And they actually started their podcast like months before it happened, right when they first got the rumor that, hey, this comic book is going to be turning into a TV show. Can you, on national TV, a zombie show, for real? You know, so we're going to start talking about the stars that have been hired for it. And I just, I ended up going back and binging all their stuff. I went and downloaded it after I watched season 1, and then while I was waiting for season 2 of The Walking Dead to come back, I went back and listened to I think at that point, they're like 20 episodes, and I was like, I can't wait. And I kid you not, to this day, like Amy and Rainier and I just watched Fear the Walking Dead last night, which is a spinoff. And that show is in a really bad place right now. It is boring. It is horrible. But there's still now like 2 or 3 Walking Dead podcasts I listen to. And as soon as like this morning, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I watched the crappy episode on TV just so I can hear these people talk about it, because I'm more into the podcast culture of it now than I am the show.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, see, that's what I was thinking too. Why the hell did they do that? That's just the raw beauty of podcasts. So I know that we're an audio drama, but sometimes we forget that podcasts are so many different things to so many different people. So those are some good picks. All right. So I know you're a big horror fan because you're in a horror podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So, and you sign up to go watch every scary movie that comes out.
Oh, gosh.
Your favorite movie's It, right?
No, absolutely not. I hate that movie. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I watched it.
Tell us why you hate horror movies instead of what's your favorite horror
Because of
movie.
it. Because of it. I remember when I was a kid, I watched the original.
Tim Curry's
yes.
It, the original one?
Yes, I could not go to the restroom by myself. Like I had,
Beep, Georgie.
I made my sister go to the restroom with me. If I had to take a shower, she was in there with me.
No shit.
I was so scared.
All right, so walk us through the scenario. Was it like mom and dad were watching it and you just like came down the hall when it was on?
No, I just watched it.
You just like found it yourself and turned it
my
on?
parents didn't care what I did.
Oh my God, so that's...
Or I think I was at a friend's house and their
Okay.
parents didn't care what we
So like
watched.
the scene with Beverly in the bathroom, is that really what got
Oh God,
you?
yes, that was the worst. I was so afraid of the restroom or like drainage. Like I couldn't go near a drain. I had to like walk away from the drain.
It's just such a... It's done that to so many people. Mm-hmm. Like there's so many people I've met that are like, it has ruined clowns for me. It has ruined horror movies for me.
Or Chucky. Oh God,
I swear the best way to get over it though, you got to go watch it again.
Oh.
Like I built this up massively for Amy, and then we sit down and watch it. She's like,
was
"This
funny.
is stupid. Like this isn't scary at all." It's like, it was. Damn it. You know?
when I was little.
This is horrifying. And I'm like, this is stupid. It's so campy. I mean, Tim Curry is menacing, has got the sharp teeth and all that. As your kid, it scares you. When you're growing up, you're just like seeing him for what are you doing, fat boy?
Yeah.
You know, it's just funny. He's so good.
But I guess I don't want to go back and watch it because I like that feeling of being scared. I don't know.
But
I
if
guess
you
I'm just
get
weird.
over it. If you get over it, then maybe you'll be able to watch horror movies.
Well, I still watch horror movies, but
No, you sit down and done a marathon with us. What?
Yes.
Like last summer, we
see,
sat.
I'll watch them, but I don't like them. I'll watch them and then like I go home and watch like a Disney movie to
I
make
need to
it.
see a rom-com to shower this off of me.
I watched like was it after I watched Paranormal Activity? Oh my gosh, absolutely not. I could not sleep for a week. I watched Tinkerbell every night before I went to sleep. Well, we lived in a townhome, and the stairs were connected, so I could hear them going up the stairs. I'm like, oh God, it's coming for me. And then I told Mervin, I was like, please don't go to sleep before me. So I made sure I go to sleep before you.
That's great. That's gold.
Yeah, they scare me. Or when I watched The Walking Dead, I had nightmares about zombies coming after me.
That first season,
God.
the music,
Yes.
the pacing, it is a horror movie that's like, 6 episodes long. The second season, even the desolate of the farm and them finding it is still, I mean, it has, but that's when they like start working in this like almost week to week or day to day soap opera kind of flair to
so
it,
it ruined it.
which really kind of watered it down. But it wasn't too bad. I mean, the main show is still okay. It's had its ups and downs, but that first season, and that's where everybody starts at season 1, episode 1. That when he's going through that hospital, when he comes out, and when he's walking on the streets, and then they're coming off to his peripheral, but he doesn't really understand what they are yet. That's great.
Yeah,
Used to be one of the greatest shows on TV. Anyway, so Paranormal Activity. So funny you bring this up. This morning, I was telling Amy, I was right before we went to sleep. I can't remember, but I was like, "Oh, you got to watch this video."
I have nightmares talking about this.
We caught this. They caught this ghost on camera, and I started showing it to her. And it's a spoof, and at the end, it shows like a guy. Like now, we put the ghost filter on it, where you can see the ghost. And I'll try to find this and link it in the below, but I got to find it because it's just like one of those random videos that popped up on Facebook. And it's a guy in a sheet, and he walks through and he knocks the plant over. He's like, "Oh, sorry."
Oh, I've seen that before. It's so
And then he's
funny.
like, "I just got to get to the cupboard," which is hilarious because ghosts are always opening the cupboard.
Yeah.
And then he trips over the sheet. That's what pulls him off of the bed. I was like, "This is so great." Oh, all right. All right. So, what about books? You read books?
Yeah, I do. Not as much as I want.
Are Goosebumps your favorite, Brooks?
No, I was not allowed to read those when I was little.
Oh,
Yeah, my mom wouldn't let me.
Ghost Beach was my favorite one. It's got like this teal and gray cover and a little creepy waves lapping at the beach. I don't even remember what it's about. I just remember the book. I wore it out
Oh, I
Well, it must not be that
remember
good.
my sister brought a book home, and my mom, that's when she was like, no, you can't read these. It had a piano on it. It had like a bunch of stuff. I don't remember what it was.
I think
but
that one was the red cover with the piano.
I don't know, but it looked really cool. I was like, oh, I want to read that. Mom was like, no, don't read it. It's the devil.
And here you are in a horror podcast with devils. Good job, Mom.
I don't really know. I mean,
If you could put one book in your book bag, what's it going to be?
can I put 2?
Maybe. Let's hear the first one.
Little Women.
Yeah, what's the next book?
Hey, I love that book, and I love the movie. I love everything about
Next
it.
one's The Scarlet Letter.
No, I never even read that book. But it's a cheesy book. I'm a hopeless romantic. It's called The Lost Valentine.
What is that about?
So it's about a soldier that goes away to war, and was it in the 1940s? So
Okay.
World War II.
Cool.
And his wife, the last time they see each other is February 14th. And, you know, he said that he would come back. And, so sentimental about this book. But
He doesn't come back?
no, he doesn't. I mean, they had a child together. And every February 14th, every day, every February 14th. Anyway.
Every year.
Yeah, every year. That's the word I was looking for. Every year she would go back on that day to wait for him to come back. And I was like, oh, God, this lady.
So does this book end?
For 60 years,
Spoilers.
she went. For 60 years, she went to the train station waiting for him.
Oh.
Yeah, so this reporter lady, finds out about her, and they want to do a story. And then they start getting more background on what happened to him, and they try to figure out where he went. So he was a pilot. He crashed down, and then he saved a couple of people's lives, and he died. And I forgot the place.
Because this was setting up to be a really good horror movie for a moment.
Yeah, no.
Or just like a creepy
He died in
supernatural
war,
movie, like, I'm
so,
back, honey.
But yeah, he died in war, and she just wanted closure, and that's
Is it
all it was.
based on a true story, or?
I believe so.
Dan Lefebvre, you listening? Sorry.
I don't know if it's based on a true story or not, but the reporter finds this guy that he was with and tells the whole story on how he died. He was trying to save this little boy that was just in this little village.
All right,
and
I'm gonna read this now.
yeah, it's just.
So what's the name of it again? So I
The
can link
Lost
it.
Valentine.
The Lost Valentine. All right, I'll throw a link in the show notes.
So,
Cool.
But anyway, at the end,
We'll
it's
throw Little
great.
Women out, and you can take that one.
Yeah,
that
that
one
was
sounds more
that one's-
entertaining. A lot less drama.
I'm a hopeless romantic about. Well, I just have a heart for military stories or everything
And why is that?
because my husband was in the military.
Who's your husband?
Mervin.
Who's Mervin?
Oh God,
It's Harper Powers.
he's Harper Powers. He was in the Army for 6 years.
All right. He's an all right dude.
He's okay.
I'm still getting used to him. I just
Yeah.
met him.
He's all right.
All right. So, what does that mean? Me and him are lifelong friends. That was a joke.
Yeah.
Stop getting so serious, people out there in podcast land. All right. Moving on. Plowing ahead. What is your favorite video game of all time?
Zelda.
Which one?
Every single one.
You can't do that.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Oh God.
Gun to the head.
Woo!
Pick one. What's the one that-
Majora's Mask.
Really? I like that one
Yes.
too. That one's imminent. That one's dark and scary. There's a moon
don't know.
coming at you the whole game. And if you fuck up, you have to start over.
At least you start over. I like that one though.
What are you currently playing? It can be Candy Crush.
No.
That's what Adam said. I think he said words with friends.
My kids make me play Minecraft with them. So
Okay,
we build
cool.
little houses. I actually built like a roller coaster. I was like, this is fun. And I built like a log cabin. I was like, man, I'm good at this game.
Mom video games. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. What is your favorite color and what is something that you own that proves it?
Blue.
Why does everybody pick blue?
Okay, ocean blue.
No, that's
Yeah.
still blue.
Any shade of blue, like teal,
Girls
turquoise.
pick blue. Atticus pick
Green?
blue.
How about I pick
Christina
green?
Nichols
Green's
pick
my
blue.
second choice.
No, blue's it. Blue's a title card. That's why all these title cards are blue, everybody. Except for like Amy and someone else picked, was it green? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Blue.
I like blue. If you look at my closet, I have like different shades of blue t-shirts, blue jeans.
I like blue too.
Blue's nice.
I know everybody thinks I just love red.
Yeah.
But I do like blue.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I just
Eon
thought you liked
code's
red.
nothing but blue.
Oh, well.
That's because it couldn't be red. Red was already taken.
Yeah, you took it everywhere.
So what, I'm sorry, what was it? What did you own that proves it?
Mom stole my clothes.
No, I needed something like
I don't have it.
sentimental.
My shoes. I don't have anything
Your
sentimental.
shoes aren't blue?
It has bluish.
Oh, it's got blue on them. Okay.
Yeah,
they got blue on them. I'm messing
I don't
with
really
you.
have anything sentimental.
Your earrings are blue.
Yeah, there
you
you
go.
go. Reverend got them for me.
All right. Blue. Is that why you
yeah, I
like
forgot
Mervin?
it.
Because of his eyes?
Yes, that's why I married him.
Did you know that his name was Baby Blue Eyes in middle school?
No.
His name was Baby Blue Eyes in middle school. Huh, Mervin?
Yeah, that's why I married.
telling the world this shit?
Yeah, that's why I married him. Is blue eyes.
That wasn't his name. That's just what one teacher called him all the time, pissing him off. What are you doing, Baby Blue Eyes?
Oh God, that would make him so mad. I could just see him.
It's so precious. All right. Mervin and his husky eyes. All right. Moving on. If you could visit any place on the globe, where would it be and why?
I would go to Ireland.
What's it about Ireland?
I don't know, because I'm Irish.
I bet you the sky's really blue.
The sky's really blue. No, it's just the land is gorgeous. There's so many places to go. The beer is good, but I don't like beer. But I've heard that the beer is good. But I just like the scenery, and hiking around the country would be amazing.
You know what the most important part of Ireland is? Is there is an island there, and that's the island that Luke Skywalker's on in Star Wars.
Oh, okay. I have to go there then.
If you listen to our very first ICE episode interview with Jessica from 2 years ago or whatever, that's the one I'm gushing over. So I got to find a new place because I can't say that in my next interview, like with Des or whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, where do I want to go? Skellig Michael's always been my destination.
That's
I
mine
gotta find a new
now.
one. Yeah, now it's yours. You can have it.
I'll take it.
Sloppy seconds.
I'll take it anyway.
All right. If you could go to a fictional place, where would it be and why? And you can't hang out with Little Women.
No. I'm not. Or go
wouldn't really wanna
to
go to that.
Stars Hollow with Amy.
Oh,
No, so I don't know if everyone's seen this movie, but it's with Robin Williams. It's called What Dreams May Come. So that when he goes into the painting after he dies, his wife paints, and it's just beautiful colors. I would just love to be in there, just like messing up.
You don't want to go to where his wife was? Before?
No, where he had to go save her in
It's all
hell.
black and gray.
No, her painting, and it was so beautiful,
Yeah.
and like the birds flying and the like messing up the paint. Oh my gosh, I would love to go there and just. Blah.
When's the last time you saw that movie?
Oh my
Don't
What?
don't
What?
don't rewatch it.
It's been a very long time.
Like as beautiful as it. I mean, it's still a really good movie. I mean, you can't ruin the writing and the plot and the acting. It's all there, but some of the scenes.
Cheesy.
No, they just compared to today's.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
you got to really be able to like
Go back.
What I do with Star Wars, like the original trilogy, is like, okay, come on. I mean, they only had so much
Yeah.
technology at this time, but the scene you're describing, even
Is it bad?
it's.
I just remember it just being so pretty.
It's not like there's this movie I really like called The Hideaway, and it's a like about this guy who like kidnaps girls, kills them, and like puts them all in this weird ass thing in a junkyard.
That
And
sounds like a wonderful movie.
And at the end, yeah, and at the end, the dad comes in and like has this battle with him. They both basically died and went to another plane and were brought back on the brink of death by a doctor, and that's why their brains are all twisted and have this like awesome battle, like of heaven versus hell kind of thing. It's really cool. And then I rewatched it, and there's like this massive like graphic of this energy ball of like light
dear.
energy and darkness all going at each other. This was like 1995, which is about the time as What Dreams May Come. And I was like, it's got like this badass muscle car, like this GTO and all this really cool stuff. Like leading up to it, it's a really good movie. And then you get to that ending scene, it's like, oh my God, the CG in this is horrible. This is so bad, it just kills it. It's like somebody should just take like one of the video game engines that's out right now and just re-render that ending battle and it'd be a great movie. But it's so hard to, like I want to show more people it, but I know they're going to watch that last scene and go, this sucks. But it's a really, really good movie. Like, I mean, so imagine if you're a really bad person and you're about to die. And then a doctor brings you brings you back right before you go. You don't die, but bringing you back, or you'd already been dead for a few minutes, but he brings you back kind of thing. well, you were almost in hell, but you came back. So you like brought some of that with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jeff Goldblum is the dad in it, and he dies in a car accident, and like car goes off in the water or something like that. I think Alicia Silverstone's his daughter. It's a really good movie. And when he comes back, he's got like a piece of, I want to say like his connection to the light. And then I think they had a kid that passed away years before this, and that his energy is like what helps combat this bad guy. I'm explaining this really bad. Someone out there's like, this is their favorite movie. And they're like, Johnny Stitches is butchering my favorite fucking movie right now.
I want to watch it now.
But it's really good. You just got to like, now going into that last scene, you go, okay, graphics are going to suck.
Yeah, of course.
Got
it's
it.
back then.
But I mean, it's like when the bad guy dies, like his head looks like something out of like a Stone Temple Pilots music video. Like it's just so like bad and old. But it's what I'm getting at is what Dreams May Come is not that bad.
No.
But it's not.
I want to go back and watch it now.
Yeah, if you hold it up to half of the movies that come out now that mix
No, absolutely not.
CG in with like, not like comic book movies, but like normal movies that like CG a skyline now or CG like wildlife, it's not going to hold up.
Yeah. I'm not going to compare. That's the thing these
That
days.
being
People
said-
always comparing like this and that and whoa.
Right. Exactly, yeah. No. Yeah, we've had that conversation a few times on here. All right, plowing ahead. On a scale of 10 out of 10, how is Star Wars still an 11?
Because it's awesome.
It is awesome.
I don't know.
What's your favorite scene in Star Wars?
My favorite scene?
Like when someone says, I like Star Wars, you're like, me too. What's that image that pops out?
Ewoks.
The cannibalistic teddy bears is the first thing that pops out. Those teddy bears are crazy.
Or no,
I'm messing
whatever.
with you. That's a good one.
No. What's his name? Oh, another scene. I don't know what movie it was in. What's his name?
Just give me a snippet. I'll bring it out.
Oh, he's like shaking his face and like.
Oh, yeah. It's Boss Nass.
Yeah. I like that.
Jar Jar's
Jar Jar. That's
tribal leader.
Yeah, I
the
like that
leader
part.
of the Gungans.
I don't know why, but I like it when he shakes his face. It's funny.
You can tell you were a kid when you saw that.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a good reason for Star Wars to be an 11. I like that. No one said that one yet.
There you go.
I think Adam said the Ewoks. And then we had the discussion of what do you think those teddy bears had in those stormtrooper helmets that are now drums? Where are those heads? What were they doing with Han and Leia and all them before they found out they before they found out they were good guys? We're going to eat them.
Yeah. That's my favorite
The forest
movie.
moon of Endor
story.
is full of cannibalistic teddy bears. And if you look at it like that, they're not that cute anymore. I showed you that
They're
video
still
where he's like
cute.
staring.
Yeah. Oh
and his
god,
eyes.
that was such a bad video.
That's from the Ewok movies. I think they were like straight to TV movies with
I remember that.
Wilford Brimley.
That was painful to watch.
Wicket. All right. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, or Game of Thrones? Only one.
Well, definitely not Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Ugh. Sorry, everybody. I couldn't do it.
Would you fall asleep?
Yes, every time. I tried watching it, but every time I'd fall asleep.
What about second breakfast?
No, I don't even know what that is. I just remember watching the village part. I guess that's the opening scene.
That's pretty good. All right.
Goodness.
The last two is hard.
Nah, I would go with Game of Thrones. Maybe back then, before Game of Thrones came out, it would be Harry Potter. So, Game of Thrones.
What house are you in Harry Potter?
What house? Gryffindor.
Why does everybody pick that one?
Because it's the best house.
What house do you think I'd be in?
Slytherin.
Why would you say that?
Because you would fit there. Or we could stick you in Hufflepuff.
What do they do?
Nothing.
What does Ravenclaw do?
I don't know. They're not even part of this.
But they're on all the posters.
Well, they have to have 4.
You didn't read the books. People read the books, right? Do they do things in the books?
I didn't read the book.
Okay. Now you're really getting... You hear that, internet? That's why you picked Game of Thrones, though, right?
Yeah.
Did you read the Game of Thrones books?
I haven't, no.
But you don't even have time for podcasts. How are you going to read a book that the audio book alone is 48 hours just for the first one?
because you told me not to listen to it.
I did not tell you that.
You said I wouldn't do
I was saying if you don't have the time, it's very time consuming. But Roy Dotrice is an amazing narrator.
Yes.
But George R. R. Martin is a very elaborated writer. All right. What is a song that takes you away from it all?
So it's Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Israel. I'm going to mess up his last name. So it's Kamakaulu.
Okay.
It's Hawaiian or
Samoan,
something like that. I knew I'd mess it up. Yes, I love it. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Cool. I'll make that little snippet when we share this on Instagram when people hear it.
It's my favorite.
All right. What music are you streaming and spinning right now? No playlist? No certain bands?
Well, the one I always go to is Gunship. I listen to that over and over and over and over again.
Good one.
Don't judge me.
I'm ready. Do it. Bring it to me.
I have Miley Cyrus, her new
that's
album.
bad. I thought you were about to throw out some of my hardcore gangster rappers.
Oh, God, no. I like her music. It's catchy.
She's got a really good songwriter soul.
Yeah, I just like her voice because it's different. It's not generic like most of
Did you see her Black Mirror episode?
Oh, yes, I loved it.
Yeah, where she did the Nine Inch Nails covers. Yeah, it was pretty
that
good.
was really good. What was it called?
I can't remember either. Where she's in the little...
She's a doll.
But we won't spoil it. But
sorry.
It's really good. Go see it.
Watch Black Mirror.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
They're so good.
All right. Have you ever been under a surgical knife?
Yes. I have.
Times?
A couple times, yes.
All right.
You want me to tell you about them?
That's up to you.
That's fine. So I have a disease that...
Me too. I have disease. Diseases.
So it's hereditary from my father's side. It's called osteochondroma. So basically, as I grew benign bone tumors. So I just have a bunch of extra bones in my body.
Wow.
Yeah, and they'll stop growing once I stop growing, which wasn't too long because I'm short. But I had, what is it, like 7 incisions where they had to remove.
Wow.
Yeah, on my arms, they had to go
How old
around.
were you for the first one?
I think it was 13.
Oh, shit. So, like, right after puberty.
Yeah, I had this really big one that was like the size of a softball on my thigh, and I get made fun of in school, like, why you got a hump in your leg?
Kids are bastards.
Yeah, they were jerks. But the most dangerous one I had was on my arm, and it was like there was an artery wrapped around the bone, and they had to go in like through 2 different places. Yeah, and sometimes I can't even, like, my leg is numb sometimes, like where the incision is, like by my knee. I can, like, it's numb to me. It feels funny.
Wow.
Yeah, they messed up a nerve or something.
Doctors.
Yeah, they're dumb.
Fucking psychos.
And I'm going to go work with them.
Not all doctors are bad. No. There's Laughlin. All right. So we're going to take another short break real quick, and then we'll be right back with the Sirenicide spoiler questions and then the giveaway. Stay tuned.
Sure thing, boss. I'll make sure everyone stays friendly. We won't have any problems. You can count on me.
All right. And now we are back with the question that everybody wants answered.
Dun, dun, dun.
Vima Boeing. Can you relate?
To Vima?
Yeah.
No, she's a... Can I say it? She's a beep?
You can cuss.
I didn't know. Can we have to bleep that?
It's an explicit podcast.
She's a bitch. She's evil. I don't know. Sometimes I feel bad for her, though. I don't know. Like, when I'm playing her, I'm like, oh, you poor thing. Because you're so bad. But, like, I don't know. I just get caught up in her character and just her emotions. And I feel everything that she's feeling. And, oh, God, it's just hard sometimes. It's really hard.
Well, I could say that this character, we had wanted to bring this faction, the Dark Elite, into this. And I wrote that a Dark Elite Part 1 and 2, not knowing how this character was going to go. Because I try my damnedest. Sometimes it succeeds, sometimes it doesn't. But with yours, I consider a success. Stupid-ass reviews be damned.
Anyway.
You took this character, and I had written her to not be this cliche-ass, what they don't understand what's coming, like that kind of just like flipping her hair back, like diva villain.
Yeah.
I wanted her to come across as this just, I can't believe this girl is where she is. Like her dialogue, I wanted her to be like that girl that you're in class with, that you just can't stand. She's smart, and she's just not a bitch, but just like she knows she's smart. We all went to school with that person, right? I wanted to imagine that person like getting plucked out of like high school level. Like this person's testing off the charts. Let's send her to this college. What she doesn't know is this college is also funded by the Dark Elite. And they're kind of watching her, and then eventually they just grab her and say, we're going to put you in the special academy. They debrief her with everything. And usually where most people are like, I don't know if I can be a part of this, you know, and they're like, well, then you better not say anything or we'll kill your whole family. Vima was like, oh yeah, I'm so game. Let's do this, you know.
She's a bad girl.
That kind of thing. And that was the other thing. I imagine like this is still the girl that wants to go get her latte, that wants to, you know, that wants to drive a nice sports car or whatever.
Yeah, she
like
makes materials.
Exactly. So I wanted to, and I've never seen a villain like that ever. And and when you took the script, you're like, oh my God, I gotta do this?
Oh, I remember when you told me, he's like, hey, you want to play this character? Let's read the script first before you approve you want to do it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I could do that.
So, and she walks out and she's just very, again, spoiler for season 2. She walks out on that stage and she's like, my accomplishments are well documented. So understand my age should not take away from what I have done. And it's just like, Jesus, this bitch. And that's what I wanted. And I think what people don't realize is that when they hear a villain, like, I know you don't watch Walking Dead, but in The Walking Dead, there's this villain, Negan. And he was in the comics. And in the comics, he was just one of these villains that everyone hated at first, but because he does something really, really bad to a really, really loved character. But as you can't turn away from his dialogue. It's just so, like, written so well. But the reason why everybody likes it is he fits that mold. Like, he's drawn to look the part, and people can't see our medium, but his dialogue just fits like, okay, that makes sense why he acts like this. And then later on, you find out, oh my God, he was a teacher, he was a baseball coach in the real world before it all went bad. He had a wife, he lost her. I mean, and it's just like, what? So I took a little inspiration from him, and I wanted to create this, what at the surface level just seems like a cheeseball villain. But what I wanted to do different from somebody like Negan was I wanted to make somebody that, like yourself, that was just embodied and like infused and like something they do, they're going to like do it no matter what. I'm going to see it through. I said I'm going to do it, you know, just very, so I mean, I pulled from what little bits of your personality I'd learned over the time, but I also wanted to throw some curveballs in there. That way you'd be like, I could never see myself saying that.
Yeah, it was really fun.
But, and through it all, this is, I mean, that was other than doing the Ghost and the Liquid, which are very minimal roles. You like went from barely doing anything as far as voice acting to like freaking supporting villain of our series. And I think a lot of people that listen to, you know, like the Black Tapes and a lot of these bigger podcasts have been out for years, and some of them have like really nice voice actors and professional voice actors. And here we are at amateur hour. So it's just, I loved it. So when the reviews started coming in, people just tearing into this character. Who is this bitch that's coming out in season 2?
So bad.
And then it's this and this. So I made sure in season 3, when we introduced Juliana Blaze, like she did that line, I just can't believe you are who they sent here. You don't fit the part at all. I'm like, yeah. So and that's the thing. And of course, where you're going in season 4, we can't spoil any of that for anybody, but it all is there for a reason. Yeah. But so what is your favorite part of Vima? Like, I guess what sticks out to you from her?
Her strength.
Strength? Okay.
Yeah. She's just really strong. I don't know where she gets it from. She just keeps getting beat and beat after, you know, all the time. But she just picks herself back up and just keeps going. Yeah. I don't understand where she gets it.
You think, how do you imagine her and her sister's childhood must have went? It must have been somewhat connected. Because it seems that's her kryptonite.
Maybe she just had a really good childhood, and she just wanted that family to stay together, and that's why she was so obsessed with
Rima.
Yeah, and finding her, and that was her one connection to like humanity, you know. And then after she was gone, she's done. Like, I am gonna rule everything. I'm gonna do all this.
Well, I remember that one time she tells or asks Johnny at the end of season 2, like, do you think her body would still be in the hive?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like,
No.
And I think it was Molly's character. Like, what does it matter? I mean, it's a skeleton.
Molly's such a bitch too.
All right. So something, well, people don't realize is we tried something out on this show. And the reason I tried it out is I really wanted to push the boundaries of podcasting.
I knew you were going to bring this up. I knew it. I had a feeling. Oh, God.
So at the end of season 2, episode 5, and at the beginning of season 2, episode 6, you and your lover, he catches a Hiram to the head while y'all are dancing.
Yeah.
Knocking all the stuff off the tables, everything. So this is your intro to voice acting. It's like, hey, by the way, it's going to be the most uncomfortable thing ever.
Oh, gosh.
So that was I'd heard some no sleep stories where like sex was referenced, like where like I was thrown we went whatever, like we were going at it, or I started kissing her, and from there it went to this, like they'll describe it, and you might hear like a Foley, and I'm not just dropping no sleep, that's just one that comes to mind, like but other podcasts that and you might even hear a Foley art of like like then it fades right off. But I'd never heard someone like straight up
completely
let's
having
try,
sex.
Let's
do this for your first time voice acting.
So hats off to Jeff Clement too, who lives in Canada. Who played Droven. Because we had to have him match the rhythms. It was so like awkward. We were just asking, hey, so I went ahead and did her lines first. So I did his lines.
You did his lines, and then
said,
I matched
I need you to match his movements.
Oh God.
Oh man, and it was just I kept doing the recording, like looking back because Mervin was here, and I'm like, this is so weird. You're like, you gotta get out of the studio. I can't have you in here when I'm recording this shit. Oh God. So I guess that's what. And we're sitting here talking about some of the negative reviews and stuff, but there's been a lot of people that like her. But like most times when people, like when we first met Desdemona, who's our lore master now, the first thing she said at the live show was like, she's my favorite character.
I'm so excited.
It's like, put that in your review.
Yes, please.
Because when people do like something, it's just, they have the tendency to just like, I like this, and they just move on about their day. When someone doesn't like something, it's like, I gotta type, tell the world I don't like this.
I remember that one guy, he wrote that he hated it, and then he finally listened to season 2. He's like, oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah. Because, just by the end of season 2.
How can someone do that?
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Right.
Good job. I was like, yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. And that's the problem, too, because at first she just walks on stage. I am Vima Boeing, blah, blah, blah.
I roll supreme.
Yeah, exactly. And then by the end of it, he freaking, and you had to act opposite of Jeff Clement, who's an amazing voice actor. He's like, what are you doing here, Droven? Trying to figure out what's so damn important. Like, it just ruined his career, and he's so angry, but he's still so in love with her. Yeah. She's such a complex character. And, I know that'll probably piss a ton of people off, but to this day, she's probably still my favorite character in the show. And I think the backlash made me want to just write for her even harder, because I never really envisioned her building up to where we have her now in season 3, and even going into where we're taking her into season 4. I never really envisioned the Dark Elite being really any more than the Rotandans, which is a major faction of doing some like sideline action through our storyline. But I just couldn't. Like
one of the main.
Yeah. And you also had to act alongside Michael Stein from Dark Tranquility.
Oh my gosh. That was, like, you're throwing all these people at me. And I'm like,
it's my first time. You're putting me around all these people now. It's his first time voice acting too, but he just had a natural
act to it. He just like catch on. I was like, how do I do this?
Dr. Boeing.
Yeah.
So good. Good. And of course, Vima Boeing is like, I mocked it off Boeing. And then Droven Lockheed Martin. So I thought, I was like, Boeing and Lockheed are in love. That's kind of funny. So like there's so much intricacy to her character, and you've done such an amazing job with her. So I urge people, if you have an issue with like that character at first, go back and re-listen. I promise. Like, you're going to start seeing all the little, like, okay, if it sounds like, how could they be doing all this and then let something like that happen? It's like, if it sounds like it's intentional, it's probably intentional.
Yep.
Because I really, really love where you went with that character. So, and again, I'm completely biased. She's one of my favorites that I've poured so much time into. But moving on from Vima, what would you say your favorite moment in Sirenicide has been so far? You can't say anything about season 4, even though I know you know all of it.
Darn. That was my answer, season 4. Oh, my favorite moment. My favorite, I got it. The Wraith.
The Wraith?
Yes, Wraith.
Really, from season 2?
Yes, I like that episode. Because that's whenever Joey starts, like, harnessing his power, and it's just like, oh, hey, I got something cool.
Who? You mean Matt?
Oh, whatever.
Oh, everybody knows that now. That's an old plot point. I'm not messing with you. But I told everybody up to Mini 38.
Oh, no, when Matt
starts becoming Joey slowly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't realize, but he's like, hey, this is awesome. Like, he's, like, feeling really powerful.
So that is the second episode by Eddie Vile that we brought up.
Yep.
He is a really, really good writer.
Yes, he is.
All right. So when you first heard, like, that context of, like, you recording a character like Vima or Rima in this box where it's just soulless in here. There's no really context. But then you press play on finally hearing your voice completely done with the sound effects, the music, the other voice actors. What was that first time hearing that like?
I don't know. I guess I was just like, oh, wow. That's me. Okay, let's listen to my voice. I mean, at first I was a little hesitant about listening to my voice, but then I actually just took the episode, didn't worry about it was my voice, and I was like, this sounds really good. I like it. My first actual was Rima, and that one, yeah, I really like that one. That one was fun to do.
It's really, I think, I mean, of course, it's our show, so we can pretty much do whatever we want. But I think sometimes when I imagine the way Vima talks to people, like she's mocking Rima. Yeah. Like, what do you boys think that we should do? It's like, because it seems to me.
Because they were twins. So
yeah, but the more like promiscuous one of the bunch was definitely the one that became a vampire. Yeah, I mean, like
I have a hard time trying not to be like when I'm voice acting. Whoever's recording me, you sound too promiscuous. Stop it! I was like, I can't help it.
All right, going through the anathema, the last great storm, and all that stuff. Would you be with Doc and the USG, Sirenicide, the Dark Elite, Trinity, or would you just die?
Oh,
Christina, not Vima.
I was gonna. I would be with Sirenicide.
Really?
Yes. Oops.
That's not a spoiler.
No, I was gonna say something. That was a spoiler, so I was like, held it in. I need to stop. I'd have to get the scarring. Yeah, it would hurt. But I mean, I have this cool glowing scar. And I would live forever. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
There you go. That's, a lot of people, most people pick they just die.
Oh, really? No. I want to live forever.
Ooh. All right. So are you ready for the final season? You ready for it to be out? Are you ready for it to be done and off of your computer?
I mean, it's fun. It's really time consuming doing all the production, but I'm excited for it to come out and just hear it all together. It's just, when I'm putting it together, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Well, we've heard episode 1. Mm-hmm. We've sat down and listened to it already. It's really good. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, well, we'll be right back with the giveaway. Stick around.
This Dr. Pepper can is running a little low on flavors this morning. I guess a woman like me, hell, a woman period, was not worth the time.
On my mark.
DCS activated.
Ready?
Heat signature uploaded to the cams.
Set
to charge, ma'am.
Engage.
Your secrets are safe with me, okay?
Well, that's good, Avery. Because if you can't keep them that way, I will kill you.
What?
You heard me.
Anyway, come on. We got a lot of work to do tonight.
Okay, we are back with the Patreon giveaway of the episode. If you won last week's episode, which was Jason T, and man, who won the week before? Do. Please hold. Ba-na-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na, do. It was Christina Nichols. So Jason T and Christina Nichols have been pulled out of this. So right now with the new Patreons that have joined, minus the 2 that aren't eligible, we have a grand total of 41 winners, or potential winners. Mm-hmm. So even though some of these people have already won throughout, they have a chance to win again. You're only ineligible for 2 weeks after you initially win, and then you're thrown back into the mix. So we have our trusty wiretap. And like I said, we're going to do a mystery prize. Here we go. Siri, pick a name. Oops.
A number?
I don't understand. Siri, pick a name, boobs?
Oh, you're so dumb, Siri.
I never said boobs. It heard our conversation earlier and got excited.
Oh, Siri.
All right, so here we go. Siri, pick a number between 1 and 41.
It's 6.
Oh my God, what's the chances of that? You want to tell him?
Me? Oh, what does it say? It's John Grills.
last episode's guest. All
Yay!
right. John, you are the winner of what we want to give him. We got a whole store. Let's give him a t-shirt.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Get out of my head.
Yeah.
A t-shirt sounds good.
You just want a Siren Aside t-shirt, John Grills.
Woohoo.
We'll get that out to you. John Grills is a supporter at the $5 Peek into the Surgeon's Chamber level. He also hosts a wonderful podcast called Creepy. We talked about that last episode a lot, so go back and check that out if you haven't. All right, so once again, Christina, let everybody know where they can find you on the social happenings.
So Facebook, my name, Christina Ashworth. And you can find Shorty Cakes on Facebook as well, or shortycakes.net, and it'll just take you to the Facebook page. Twitter. It's like, what was that name? Twitter, it's at Vima Boeing. And then Instagram is Ashworth CCI. Yeah.
That's it, I think.
Yeah. I think there's an 88 in there. I don't know.
We'll see. The links will be below.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us again. With each one of these ICE episodes, we get that much closer to the chilling opening of season 4. Thanks for coming out and seeing us, Christina.
Thank you for having me.
All right. You guys take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.
Doc, hear me.
What is this you are attached to?
Albert Harrison is dead. Doc, I am using this vessel to communicate with you.
You have my attention, child. Continue if you can.
I have a proposal for you. One that could reshape the ages.
All elements of Sirenicide are copyright 2019 by Atrium Dynamics unless otherwise stated. Any duplication of this production without the secured written consent of Atrium Dynamics is strictly prohibited. Please visit Sirenicide.com for more details.